Good morning, everybody. It's Hannah Banana here again. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about humility. First, let's look at a couple different definitions of humility, just in case we don't have a clear view of what it is. Our friendly dictionary.com defines humility as the quality or condition of being humble, modest opinion or estimate of one's own importance, rank, etc. So just a basic definition of humility, modest opinion of one's own importance. So I'm going to now take a look at what the world thinks of humility, and I'm taking this from Urban Dictionary. So I found not talking about or recognizing your own achievements despite how good they are. That's the definition I got from Urban Dictionary. So let me see if I can flip to the back of my handy dandy Bible and see what God says about humility. Or, depending on how some people look at it, what people in the past thought of humility based on things that God said. Let me see here. I have humility, the state of being humble or lack of pride. Again, this sounds a little more like dictionary.com's definition, the state of being humble or lack of pride. So, in Proverbs 11:2, we can see a verse about humility, and what I see is when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. So clearly, the Bible has a very positive view of humility, saying that humility brings about wisdom. And Urban Dictionary is telling us that, what did it say? It said humility is not talking about or recognizing your own achievements despite how good they are. So you could see that a couple different ways. The way that I read it, the first time I read that, was Urban Dictionary is telling us that humility is a bad thing, that it means you are basically ignoring your own self-worth despite how worthy and wonderful we all are. And this is one perspective that we get from the world a lot, that everyone is worthy, everyone is wonderful, everyone is beautiful, everyone is just amazing. Every single person in the world. Except every once in a while, the world will pick one group of people and decide that those people are the exception. So at different times, the world has chosen different groups of people. A good example of a group of people who are no longer beautiful, wonderful, and every good thing you can think of are people who are in jail for something that they did that they intended to do. They are guilty of it. Those are the exceptions right now. The world considers that these people are not worthy of love, that they're not worthy of kindness, that a lot of times in a lot of different places, depending on the action, people do think that these people are worth killing because we want to protect the people around us and we're afraid. So, getting back to humility, I had someone very important to me, tell me a little while ago that I'll be fine as long as I stay humble. And she said it to my brother and I both, and it was a very applicable thing to say because we struggle with that. Staying humble is something that you have to work at. It's something you have to be conscious of because every day people will tell you different things about yourself. Some days the world will tell you that you are awful, and other days the world will tell you that you're amazing. And you can't judge your own opinion of yourself based on what the world says because it changes all the time. And depending on what groups you're a part of, what ways you identify yourself, the ways that we label ourselves, and the way that the world labels us, we could be awesome or terrible. For instance, there was a time when Christians were looked at as an example, as something to be, as leadership figures. Leadership in the church would be leadership of the country because religion was looked at up here. And we're getting to a point in our American culture where religion isn't up here anymore, really. It's kind of down here. I mean, sometimes people who are religious are nice, and that's good. And sometimes they have some things that are, a little sensible sometimes. But in general, not really. I mean, the church has been judgmental in the past, and we're not really sure what to think of them, and so we're just gonna stick them about here, and we're gonna stick some other people, maybe celebrities, world leaders, maybe some politicians, maybe some activists, they can go up here. So as a Christian, I see this changing. I see Christians going from up here to down here. And, I could let that change the way that I feel about myself and the way that I feel about my faith. But I don't, because I know where Christians are in my heart, and I know where God is in my heart and my faith. And I know that these things are important to me. And I know that my faith makes me a better person. It makes me a stronger person, makes me a more confident person. It makes me more kind and more patient and more loving. And all of these are good things. And I don't feel that my faith makes me judgmental. And I don't think that my friends would say that either, whether Christian or not. I don't think they would say that my faith makes me more judgmental. I do honestly believe that people see that my faith is helping me to be a better person. But whether they do or not, it doesn't really matter, because whether I take these things that I'm reading in the Bible into account or not, I know that I'm a Christian. I know that I have a God that loves me and forgives me. And I know that no matter what the world says, He says that I have an identity in Him that makes the rest of the junk that comes in here doesn't matter. So what I wanted to say about humility is that whether the world thinks that humility is a good thing or not, it doesn't matter, because the world's going to change its opinion about everything and about everyone at different periods of time. And I believe that humility is very important. We've heard before that pride comes before a fall, and that pride can hurt you. The Bible says it brings about disgrace, and I believe that this is true. There are plenty of examples of people saying to each other, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat you, your team sucks, my team rocks, and then when they lose, it's, oh, whoops, okay, well, I still love my team, but I'm just gonna go crawl in a hole. So I think in every area of our lives, it's important to be humble, because it means that when you come to someone and you want to say something to them about maybe the way that they're living, or you want to say something to them about yourself, or about somebody else, or about some kind of situation, anything really, that you go and you want to talk to somebody about something, or you want to confront them about something, humility means that you go before them understanding that you're at the same level. You're not lowering yourself down here, and you're not raising them up here, and you're not doing the opposite. This would be pride up here, but you're coming to them knowing that you're at the same level. And when you talk to them that way, and your heart is in that place, that you're at the same level as them, that humble place, then people are much more likely to listen to you. And it gives you credibility, and it shows people that your heart's really in it, that you're not just saying something because you're up here and they're down here, that you truly believe that this thing you're confronting them about matters, and they can see that you care about them. And in general, it just helps you in any kind of situation like that. Humility will help you when you're getting a job. People don't want to see that you think you're just the most amazing person in the world, that you deserve the ultimate amount of money for the least amount of work. And pride will tell you that, and it'll tell them that. And they want to see that you care about your job, that you care about your customers, that you care about your boss, and humility will help you with that. It'll help you when you're volunteering. It'll help you with your friends. It'll help you with any relationship that you've got. Humility will tell people that you care about them and that you're not putting yourself above anyone. In general, that is a really good thing. People don't want to listen to you when you come to them saying, I know more than you do, or I'm better than you. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody's going to hear anything you have to say when you come to them with that kind of attitude. The other thing about humility is that it keeps you honest and it keeps you being the kind of person that you want to be. I don't know if everyone is self reflective. I don't know if everyone goes home and thinks about what they did during the day and whether they can be proud of it or if they can't. I don't know. I usually do. I don't always, but I usually do. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to say that I'm proud of the person that I was today. And when I look back over the years, I want to be able to be proud of the person I was. There are always decisions that we make that are shameful to us in the future, but having humility in general and treating people as if they matter and treating yourself as if you matter, um, it makes a difference. And when you're looking back at your life and you're seeing how you've acted, humility throughout these times is going to help you feel better about yourself and about the person that you are. Not to the point where it gives you pride, because that's the opposite, but to the point where you know that that you're honoring God, that you're honoring yourself, and you're honoring the people around you. And like I said, it will help your relationships, it'll help your job, it'll help everything when you are willing to say, I will do anything because I don't feel like I'm better than that task. And I will talk to anyone with kindness and humility because I don't feel like I'm better than anyone. And I think that humility is really important. And as we're looking out at this world, I'm seeing that humility is not treasured the way that it should be. Pride is very much treasured, and self-confidence to the point of excess is very, very treasured right now. We are putting people on pedestals. We're putting them in magazines. We're idealizing people right now in our culture, and this means that us as the little people who aren't being idealized, we want to get there. Sometimes we have envy for that, and this kind of culture becomes it becomes conflicting because we want to be able to say that we're good people, but we also want to get on the pedestal. And that kind of conflict within ourselves can mean a lot of hardship in our everyday decisions. We don't know who we want to be. We don't know how we need to act. And every day we come home feeling like whatever it was I wanted to do, I didn't do it today. And it's not a good feeling, and it's not a good thing that we have to be so conflicted about who we are and who we want to be. So I encourage you, as you're thinking about that, as you're thinking about who you want to be on a daily basis and whether you need to change, what you want to be different about yourself, I encourage you just to consider humility and to think about how much it will make a difference in your life if you see yourself on an equal plane with everybody around you. It really does make a huge difference. So think about that. It's great to talk to you guys. Leave me a comment if you want to, and I hope you have a great weekend.